Hello, everybody, and welcome to Unknown Charlotte. Today, we're joined by Jason Healy, and we're going to be chatting about some of his early entry to car collecting and the car game.
The car game.
What was your first car?
A 78 Toyota Corolla.
Wait, coupe, hatchback, sedan?
Coupe.
Coupe, okay.
Yeah.
Cool car. I know about this car because you've told me. But, well, cool car because you have a lot of stories.
Freedom.
Yeah.
But lost every hubcap.
Well, to some people that don't have hubcaps, explain why.
Well, when you go around a corner too fast, the wheel compresses, the hubcap pops off, and when you're in a 70s Corolla, it's not that fast, so the hubcap usually passes you. So I remember that sound of ting, 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 ting. Yeah, look, and it's the hubcap going by me. Lost them all. But it was cars is the freedom when you're your first car, especially.
Yeah.
Ultimate freedom. So it was fun. I wouldn't get another one, but it was fun.
Right, no, I mean, when you're young and you have the access to, instead of taking public transportation or rely on your parents to take you somewhere, that's total freedom.
Yeah.
For me, it was a 94 Toyota Corolla. So what a weird
20 years
I know
difference, yeah.
Yeah. But I remember also back in the early 2000s, there was this game called Driver, and you used to hit the gas real fast and then the tire would pop out the hubcap.
Yeah.
I remember that thing always flying by you as you turn. So that just reminded me of that story so much.
Yeah, hubcaps. You don't see them much anymore.
No, there's like...
And you don't see the guys on the side of the road with a whole bunch of them you can buy that they've picked up off the side of the road. People go, oh, I need one of those.
Those guys moved to eBay and now they cost way more. There's something that I think about sometimes. It's like your dad was also a car guy.
Yep.
So he kind of did he plant the bug or did you get it on your own?
No, he had to.
He had to,
We
right?
would go every Sunday evening in Brisbane. It was called the Magic Mile. It was in Maruka. And it was just a mile of car dealerships. And Sunday nights, we would go and just walk them all. Look at cars, talk about them. And just, lights are on and it was that, and that's where it started. And he was always about cars. So it was definitely his doing.
What did he drive? When you think back on the memories of
the ones,
childhood,
he didn't have money, but he treated every car like a Pagani. I mean, he polished, he cleaned, you couldn't touch the windows, certainly couldn't eat in them. And so I remember he had a couple Ford Falcons, a Fairmont Gear, and an S-Pack is what they were called in Australia. And then his real pride and joy, he had I want to say 89, 90 Toyota Supra Turbo. Oh, red one, like the one I rebuilt.
Right.
And I made it look exactly like it.
Yeah, but for the viewer that don't know, that's the car before the 2JZ car. That's the 1JZ car, the car that came.
It's the second generation of them.
Well, it was March 3, I think.
Third generation, but that second shape.
Yeah.
And that car,
was his red as well?
Yeah,
I know yours was red.
That's why I bought that car and did it up, put the same style wheels. He had everything on it.
Great homage you paid to that story.
He loved all. I mean, it didn't matter whether it was back then, $1,000, $2,000 car or a $10,000, $15,000. He treated them the same, and he expected you to do the same.
The same?
Yeah.
You think all those mannerisms that he kind of like taught you, they followed you through?
Oh yeah.
You're very picky about cars, but the good thing about you is as many cars as you had, you notice imperfections, and albeit some of it we could take care of for you, but some you can't just do anything for. But you notice a lot of things that most people walk around and think it's normal.
Well, that came from him too. I remember if he had a door ding or something happened to the car, he just wanted to get rid of it. He didn't want to see it anymore, and even if it was fixed, he could still see it. So he just didn't want anything to do with it.
People think we're crazy, but if you love a car that much, and if you unminted for somebody else, then
Well, the way he told it to me was, he said, if I give you a briefcase of 20, 30, however much your car's worth, I give you a briefcase of cash of what your car's worth. Would you sit there tearing up notes and throwing them away? I go, no, why would you? And he goes, when you mistreat your car, that's what you're doing. And some leaves anyway. You want to throw away more. And so that's how he looked at it. But he just loved it. He would clean all the time and polish, and he always bought.
Yeah.
Back when no internet, so every week the Wheels magazine or Car and Driver would come, and we'd sit and talk and look at them, and my uncle would do the same, and they'd talk about cars and just that. So that's definitely where it came from.
I'm glad you had that in your life. When you were able to, I guess, get your first nice car, what stage in life was that? Was that like your teens, would you say?
Well, they were all kind of...
I know you had like there's always going to be
No, I couldn't. Never really could afford. Like you're saying, a dream car?
No, like, okay, so like, when you first look at the Corolla was the transportation freedom.
The first that I
nice
took
car.
care of, and that was the Mitsubishi Magna, it was called in Australia.
What would be the equivalent of the US?
I think it was a Diamante here.
Oh, I know the Diamante.
Yeah.
A very nice luxury sedan. Yeah, it was like their flagship
Mitsubishi
sedan.
Magna, white one. It was the first car I took, I cleaned it, polished it, you didn't eat in it, you didn't do stuff in it, nothing. That was the first car.
Cool.
That.
And then from then on, I guess, whatever happened in life, but you always remember the first, I think, right? Like the first one I took care of, the first one I actually did this to.
Yeah.
It's kind of your entry to the whole taking care of a car.
Well, you always remember your stories in cars because it comes at a time when your cars generally come at a pivotal time in your life. Always, all pivotal moments generally are accented by a car. You're of age, freedom, a car. Get a job, making money, car. Certainly for me, it was, nope, not doing it.
Oh, wow.
No, family screws up cars. Screw that.
So we'll segue into that.
Yeah.
You've never owned any SUVs?
I have.
Okay.
But not because I needed to carry around little snot-nosed pricks. I just wanted to experience it and drive it.
No, you've had some cool SUVs. I think they're definitely not what you call I need it for space. I need it for carrying the family.
No. Yeah. And for here, I like the all-wheel drive for snow. If it might snow.
The 1 or 2 days.
And I had a place in the mountains, so
that makes sense.
It was,
that makes sense.
The times I would go up there, if I had a sports car, it would have been messy. It would have been bad.
Speaking of your mountain drives and just driving all-wheel drive vehicles in the snow, I think for a very long time you used your SS Holden Ute as your farm truck.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, farm truck. It wasn't like I had to feed livestock or anything.
I know.
Just the truck I took to it.
But you had hay bales and
beer coolers and all that logs. I would put logs in it and carry it. Yeah.
I just love that story because it's a very nice, super rare U.S. car.
Here it is. In Australia, it's a utility vehicle.
I know.
Hence Ute. Yeah, it's just. Yeah.
But that's why
you
you're using
take
it
care
right
of it. Yeah, you still take care of it.
No, you definitely have. But I just remember stories where you won't let me wash it or clean it for you because you want to keep driving it, keep using it. And that's why
I tend to put them away if they're washed.
That makes sense.
I look at the weather and, I'm not going there today. Because if it's going to get rained on or dirty, I just...
Yeah.
Because I won't take them to a car wash. And so if I'm going to wash it, I've spent a good 2-3 hours.
Yeah, that's a short time. But
and so to turn around and take it in mud or rain, it's a bit OCD, but
you can have that level of OCD. Again, I think it comes back to when your father was around. That whole thing kind of led you here now.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing I've been lucky is I can, everyone growing up, my parents had a car each at the most. So they didn't really have the luxury of going, I'm not taking that car today because it's going to get dirty. I'll take a beater. That's so.
It's very different.
Yeah.
Very different. What will you say is your favorite car you've owned? It's a hard question.
So many.
And it's also, I feel like we must preface this by saying, for us now that we're around and exposed to so many cars, we have different feelings, different purposes, different vibes, I guess you could get from a car. So one day you might feel casual, want to relax, and another day where you want to go rip it up and be loud and aggressive, and then that's another situation where it could be another car suit.
And you got to have a car for each moment. So
if you can, I mean, we're in the world where why not?
And rabbit warren, fucking hell.
What is it? Why?
Just because the funny thing is, I heard someone say once, if you're chasing your dream car and you absolutely need it, step back and say, okay, then go get your dream car 10, 15 years ago. Because it's not actually, you just want something new and you want, the stuff. So, go back and buy your dream car from when you were 18 is going to be very different than the dream car today. So and it'll change again. So to put that pressure on you, oh, it's my dream car. I've always wanted it. Well, go back and buy the dream car you always wanted 10 years ago and see if that feeling goes away.
That doesn't.
Because then there's new stuff, there's new moments, there's, you always want to experience the different things about cars. Some it's speed, some it's the style, some it's the brand.
Right.
And you want to experience it and see it and feel it, and so it changes. But the car I still do, but I got the most shock out of owning, I couldn't believe I owned one, is my 1966 Aston Martin DB6.
That would be what you consider your coming to light, pinching yourself moment car?
I remember it. I can remember it. I got it home and I went to open the garage door to wash it, and I stood there and went, oh shit, that's mine. That, if you'd have told teenage me you'd own this car, you'd be like, piss.
No way.
Oh crap.
No way.
Yeah. What are you, a rubber bank? It'd be something smart.
For those of us that don't know what he's talking about, the 1966 DB6.
Who would watch a car podcast and not know what cars are?
Well, I'm saying for those that don't know the level of quality of your car, I'm going to explain it to them. It's a concourse level DB6 that's been completely rotisserie restored. It's got upgraded internals, it's been bored out. It's got stainless steel headers, triple Weber carburetors, all the hot cams, all the stuff that's real of the time, the brakes, the electric windows, the radio, all of it works. It's kind of a car you could get in, turn on, beat the streets up and enjoy it the whole time. But it's a 60s car.
Yeah. It's
a Vantage model. That means, and it's also a Superleggera body car. So it's full glass fiber, full body composite. And there's no seams on the A pillars, the B pillar. It's gonna be one of the most beautiful cars you've ever seen out there, but the shape of it is the next level. I mean, I would consider that like a 9.5 out of 10 car. And to go 10 out of 10 is a car you can't drive, you know?
It feels, a lot of the times it's like that. If that's not a car you walk into the garage and go, yeah, take that one. Because you're thinking about, okay, where am I going? Am I parking? What's the road like? Am I sitting in traffic? Am I just all the things you don't want to put it?
That you don't want to think
put
about.
It through. Yeah. So,
but part of the car stuff is that you get to use it, and I love hearing stuff from you because you've had a lot of experience in a lot of cars. But no one ever talks to the owner and goes, "What do you think about when you're going to the grocery store and you got that car outside?" Now you'll tell me. Mass anxiety, panic. Like if someone
park way out.
Yeah.
And even though you do that, you'll come back at some idiots right next to you. And it's going to happen. It's like, fucking hell.
Someone texting and going into your lane.
Yeah. Or taking a picture and coming over. It's another one I get a lot of.
That's the Ferrari attention.
Yeah.
When everybody's like,
oh, that's so... those things you worry about. It's kind of like driving a bike. On a bike, you're driving because you're scared of dying. But the car, the expensive car, you're like, oh God, I don't want to deal with this being scratched, dent, hit. I just don't want to deal with it.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And then you worry, well, if there is an idiot and you flip them off, then the next time they see that car, because it's probably one of the only, if only in your town, they're going to key it because they remember a time when you flipped them off in that car.
Oh.
So you think, it may be my OCD, but I think about all that stuff.
Yeah, you've had a plan. You've had to think about all that stuff. But it's smart of you to do that because you have to.
Yeah.
If you want to live and get along.
Well, you get me in a rental car, fingers everywhere. Get me in one of mine, I'm like, they might see it sitting somewhere sometime and go,
okay,
pop a tire or something. But I think about that stuff.
It's unfortunate, but it is true. It's the real world. You got to think of this stuff. I want to go back to that moment where you said you open the garage door and you see it.
Yep.
And then you said you were going to wash it for the first time. I have a photo,
but I can see it in my head.
I know it.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of cars we've delivered for you, both on the detail side, on the storage side, and when we buy them new for you and all that stuff. You sit there and you're one of the few people that will sit there and actually admire their cars. I have a big appreciation for you appreciating that. Because again, you see the details of all the hard work mechanically and aesthetically that we do to your cars, but that's kind of null if you don't appreciate it, And I've actually seen you sit on the floor for hours watching the car you take delivery of.
I still do it with ones. I just don't want to ever take it for granted
Right, like just
So I
collecting to
just
collect.
get in
Yeah,
and
yeah.
try and then never appreciate and look at it. Just the other day, I was sitting on the floor looking at my Aston.
I catch you doing that a lot, but I don't.
Just
You know,
like to
it's
think,
commonplace now. But
I-
I'm very proud of you doing that because
Well,
you take the time to enjoy that.
It's a little bit of shit, it's mine. Wow, look at it, it's beautiful. Shit, it's mine. You know, that feeling is, I don't ever want to lose that, because then what's the point of working hard to get stuff if you don't appreciate it? Or
That's true. What's the point of getting it if you're not going to appreciate it?
And unless all you care about is being seen in it, which I hate. It's the one thing I hate about nice cars, is being seen in them. So I do spend a lot of time in the garage or here. I spend more time with my cars here or at home than I do on the street, because I don't want to be.
You don't like the attention or the hovering.
I don't know, silly, but.
Well, I mean, it goes without saying, I appreciate
Which is
you.
why very rarely the cars drive between here and home. Like all my cars could drive here on their own.
Yeah.
Because it's just, like if I'm going for a drive, I'm coming here.
But that's good, because you end up at a safe place where you get to enjoy and hang out. And then, we're around enjoy those moments with you. So I'm very thankful that you get to include us in that. But, it's nice to go to a destination where you don't have to think about the other variables.
And we might have a few drinks, so it works out well.
Oh, yeah, okay. So that's part of it. Yeah. Well, I mean, it goes without saying, I really appreciate you as a great client, but more than anything, as a great friend. You've been someone that's moved me out of my comfort zone and made me a better person every day. The whole car business journey has been, without a doubt, with you putting your foot up my butt, pushing me out the door to do it. So
metaphorically.
So I really thank you for all the chances you've given me, but more importantly, being a good friend and being there for me whenever I needed a good swift kick in the butt to, again, keep things moving and get things rolling.
You're welcome.
Thanks for sharing your experience.
I sort of appreciate you guys too.
Sort of.
Way to kill the buzz, Marcel.
I think there's no buzz there.
I appreciate it. I mean, I get as much as I give you, so it's the same thing.
Yeah. It's my pleasure. Thank you guys for tuning in. We are Unknown Charlotte. We're also Euro Prestige Imports. That's our dealership. If you have any questions, you can follow us online, on Instagram, and on Facebook.
Screw that. Come visit them. It's all the place.
If you can, come visit us. We'd love to have you if you're a car enthusiast.